You found this silence for a reason. The timing wasn't random. You were guided here, drawn by the subtle magnetism of your own becoming. You may have felt it lately, the slowing, the strange in-between where time seems to hold its breath, where desire feels distant and everything familiar suddenly tastes of static. Don't mistake that stillness for stagnation. This is the chamber where evolution begins its work. Every great transformation starts not with noise, but with a pause. Before the forest erupts into bloom, the seed disintegrates beneath the soil. Before lightning cracks the sky, the charge gathers unseen. That's what's happening now, your energy folding in on itself, compressing into coherence, preparing to release into form. You might call it restlessness. The quantum field calls it recalibration. You've reached the edge of your old identity, the part of you that survived by momentum, by old codes of striving and proving, can't follow where you're going. That's why conversations that once sparked joy now echo empty. Why goals that used to define you now dissolve on contact. It's not that you've lost direction, it's that you're outgrowing the map. This quiet ache inside you, it's the sound of the arrow being drawn back before flight. The universe does not rush precision. It builds pressure in silence until the aim is perfect. So if you feel fatigue, confusion, or uncertainty, know that you are standing in the still point of creation itself, the moment before motion. Trust this interval. Let the silence speak. Every pause in your life is a coded preparation for velocity. When the signal comes, and it will, you'll recognize it, not as chaos, but as release. This is the stillness before everything changes, and it's calling you to listen deeper than you've ever listened before. You can feel it, can't you? The subtle hum beneath the quiet, the almost imperceptible pull between what's fading and what's forming. That's the bridge between worlds, the sacred in-between where the old dissolves and the new hasn't yet taken shape. It's disorienting. Yes, but that disorientation is evidence that something vast is reorganizing you. The stillness you just entered wasn't an end. It was the opening of a corridor through which your next self will emerge. The human mind craves labels, progress, success, arrival, but evolution doesn't honor those timelines. It moves like water through the cracks of resistance, reshaping everything it touches, including your sense of self. When your frequency rises, your nervous system must recalibrate to sustain it. That's why this phase feels both restless and hollow. You're being rewired, not erased. The body interprets it as fatigue. The mind calls it confusion, but the deeper intelligence within you recognizes it as metamorphosis. Consider the caterpillar. From the outside, the cocoon looks still, lifeless even. Inside, every molecule is in chaos, dissolving what once was, reorganizing into wings. No one watching that process could imagine the outcome. And yet it happens every time, perfectly. The same principle is alive within you now. The form you once inhabited is melting into potential. The universe is sculpting your architecture from the inside out. This liminal state, the nowhere between then and next, is sacred precisely because it demands surrender. It asks you to trust what you cannot yet perceive. Most turn away here. They panic when clarity disappears. They mistake emptiness for failure. But emptiness is simply space being made for something larger. Creation requires vacuum before it can ignite. You may notice the subtle discomforts, plans losing momentum, relationships shifting tone, emotions rising unprovoked. Each signal whispers the same message: release control. Because control is a language of the past, designed to keep you safe in smaller realities. The energy of becoming doesn't negotiate with safety, it negotiates with truth. And truth often feels like loss before it feels like liberation. What if this pause isn't a punishment but a purification? What if the silence you fear is the sound of the field aligning around your next timeline? Imagine your consciousness as a tuning fork, Every experience you've ever had has shaped its tone. Now, as your vibration increases, everything that cannot harmonize begins to fall away, not through destruction, but through resonance. Yes, it hurts to watch the familiar unravel, but notice what remains in the ruins: awareness. Awareness is your compass here when nothing external makes sense. Your own presence becomes the guide. Sit with the emptiness, not as an enemy, but as an ally. Feel it rearranging you, preparing the architecture of the life that's coming. There is profound intelligence in this in-between. It recalibrates not only your energy, but your perception of time itself. Days may stretch, moments may blur, emotions may intensify. That's not regression. It's expansion, your awareness spreading beyond its old boundaries, touching new layers of potential. The linear mind calls it confusion. The quantum mind calls it coherence forming in real time. So breathe into this moment, not forward, not backward, just here. This is the alchemy of becoming the space where identities dissolve, timelines overlap, and the old frequency releases its claim on your body. You're not lost, friend, you're being rewritten. And as the silence deepens, a subtle pulse begins to form beneath it, the first heartbeat of your next evolution. That pulse is the promise that stillness was never empty. It was gestation. From this invisible rhythm, the next movement will rise, not as a return to who you were, but as an emergence of who you were always becoming. The pulse grows stronger now, that low vibration between your ribs, a rhythm that feels both familiar and foreign. It's the signal that energy is building, compressing before release. Remember the arrow pulled taut against the bowstring. In that moment of tension, nothing moves, yet everything is potential. You are in that draw now, the stretch before the surge. When energy prepares to leap, it doesn't scatter outward, it concentrates. Just like the cosmos before the Big Bang, silence gathers into density until the only option left is expansion. That's what you're feeling in your body: pressure, anticipation, resistance, even fatigue. Your field is charging. Every delay, every pause, every false start, none of it is wasted motion. It's the compression phase, where the invisible rewrites the visible. Think of a thunderstorm building at the horizon. The air grows heavy, the light dimmers. You can sense it long before it arrives. That's the stage you're in. The quantum field is aligning variables around your intent, drawing energy inward to achieve precision. It's not inertia, it's incubation. And like lightning, manifestation requires tension. The higher the charge, the brighter the release. So when you feel restless, don't run from it, observe it. That pressure in your chest, that uncertainty in your mind, is not chaos. It's organization happening faster than your conscious awareness can track. Your system is trying to stabilize the voltage of your next timeline. Each breath you take is an act of grounding that charge so it doesn't scatter in fear. Energy moves according to focus. What you resist expands sideways. What you observe flows forward. This is why stillness was necessary first to clear interference. Only a calm field can hold high charge without fragmentation. Now that you've entered coherence, the universe can safely increase amplitude. The arrow can be drawn back without snapping. You may notice odd sensations, waves of emotion, sudden inspiration followed by fatigue, an almost electrical hum in the background of your thoughts. Don't rush to diagnose it. Don't demand labels. This is your body translating energetic compression into sensory language. It's how your biology participates in evolution. In physics, when potential energy reaches its threshold, it converts into kinetic energy, the movement that changes worlds. The same principle governs consciousness. When belief aligns with surrender, when intention aligns with peace, the charge converts into momentum. You won't need to make it happen. It will unfold through you, naturally, inevitably. But here's the paradox: if you push too soon, you interrupt the build. The field releases prematurely, scattering potential into fragments of effort instead of streams of manifestation. That's why patience isn't passive, it's precision. The universe times everything through resonance, not rush. So allow yourself to be drawn back. Trust the tension. Let the pull refine your aim. You are not being held still. You are being prepared for trajectory. Every delay is alignment in disguise. And when the moment comes, it won't look like drama or fanfare. It will feel like clarity. The tension will snap not with noise, but with knowing. The arrow will release. And what once felt like resistance will transform into acceleration. The same energy that felt heavy will become the wind behind you. Feel that now the compression softening into flow. That's the threshold where potential becomes power, where waiting becomes movement, where every silent recalibration you endured begins to translate into form. This is the law of emergence written across the fabric of your own nervous system. Creation doesn't rush. It gathers, compresses, and then releases at the exact moment your consciousness is ready to fly. And as that energy begins to move, you'll sense something unexpected, not escape, but invitation. The tension itself becomes sacred communication. The field whispering, prepare. Expansion is near. That whisper you heard, the one that sounds like unease, isn't noise. It's instruction. The same energy that compressed before your leap is now translating into restlessness, urging you to move, to notice, to awaken. What most call anxiety is often a misread transmission from the deeper self. The discomfort is not the problem, it's the message. When your consciousness begins outpacing your environment, friction forms. You start sensing the misalignment between your inner frequency and the outer world. That friction generates restlessness. It's how your system signals that it's time to evolve. Just as tectonic plates shift to release pressure, your emotional landscape begins to quake, not to destroy you, but to build new terrain for your expansion. So the next time you feel that pulse in your stomach, that edge of impatience humming under your skin, pause before labeling it as stress. Ask instead, what is this energy trying to show me? Because every sensation holds intelligence. Every unease is data from your future self, requesting your attention. Modern science has started to catch glimpses of this process. When new neural pathways form, the old ones destabilize. The brain's electrical activity spikes before it reorganizes. Confusion isn't failure, it's proof that new circuitry is forming. In the same way, when your emotional patterns collapse, your energy field temporarily loses equilibrium before finding higher order. You call it chaos, but nature calls it evolution. Imagine standing on the shoreline during low tide. The water recedes, exposing sand and shells and strange creatures you rarely see. It looks like loss, the sea pulling away, but that withdrawal is preparation for return. When the tide comes back, it brings renewal, momentum, life. Your restlessness is that low tide, a temporary retreat, making space for new currents. The universe uses sensation as feedback. When you feel expansion disguised as discomfort, you are touching the edges of your next frequency. That's why trying to numb it or fix it only delays its purpose. Energy wants motion, not suppression. Awareness is what gives it permission to move. Every time you breathe into the discomfort rather than run from it, you demonstrate mastery. You show the quantum field that you trust its language. You align with its rhythm instead of fighting its tempo. This alignment turns chaos into choreography. Some traditions call this the burning ground, a space where the fire of transformation consumes the old patterns. But notice it's not punishment, it's purification. The flames are made of awareness, and awareness never harms what's real. It only illuminates what's false. So let yourself feel deeply. Let the body tremble. the heart race, the mind question. Feel it all without judgment. These sensations are evidence that your consciousness is stretching into new dimensions of capacity. Every wave of emotion you endure with openness becomes fuel for coherence. You might ask, how do I trust something that feels so uncomfortable? The answer is presence. Presence turns pain into prophecy. When you stop labeling sensation as bad and start reading it as information, you shift from survival to creation. The body becomes an antenna tuned to the guidance of the field itself. This is not theory, it's practice. Close your eyes now. Feel that restless current moving under your skin. Don't resist. Observe its rhythm, its intelligence speaking in the only language the nervous system understands: sensation. Whisper to it, I hear you. Show me what's next. And notice something softens. The charge lessens, not because it vanished, but because it was acknowledged. That is the secret to transmuting discomfort into direction. Restlessness is not the enemy of peace. It is peace knocking from the other side of transformation, asking to be let in. When you finally listen, it stops demanding and starts guiding. That's how you begin to dance with the current rather than brace against it. The energy that once unsettled you now becomes your compass, and as it moves through you, it clears the path for what comes next, the art of surrender. That compass, the one you've begun to feel moving through your restlessness, points now toward surrender, not as defeat, but as design, because every surge of energy, every wave of unease, every shift in your field has been guiding you here to the quiet art of letting go without falling apart. You may notice the contrast. After all that motion, there's a call to stillness again, but this time it's different. Before, stillness felt forced, uncertain, hollow. Now it feels magnetic, like the moment between inhaling and exhaling, where the body forgets to rush. That pause is coherence forming your will, aligning with the universe's rhythm. Surrender is not inaction, it's refined participation. The more consciously you soften, the more precisely the field can respond. Think of water flowing around stone. The water never fights the obstacle. It simply moves with intelligence, finding every opening, shaping new paths without resistance. The stone over time yields to its persistence. The same law governs your evolution. The moment you stop demanding certainty and start allowing awareness to lead, your internal geometry begins to change. Neural pathways, once rigid with control, soften. Breath deepens. Energy circulates more evenly. Scientists who study heart-brain coherence have observed that when emotion and intention align with calm, the electromagnetic field around the human body becomes ordered, measurable, harmonious. You can't force coherence, you can only relax into it. The paradox is beautiful. Surrender creates stability, not chaos. The universe is tuned to respond to resonance, not resistance. Every time you grip tighter, you signal to reality that you don't yet trust it. Every time you release that grip, you send a clearer transmission. I am ready. In the quantum model, coherence isn't about control. It's about frequency alignment. When your inner field vibrates in harmony, it becomes readable to the larger field. Possibilities find you with precision. Synchronicities multiply. You stop chasing outcomes because they start orbiting your state. That's not superstition, it's resonance at work. So how do you practice this art? Begin with breath. Inhale awareness. Exhale control. Notice where tension hides in your shoulders, in your jaw, in the micro muscles that brace against uncertainty. With each exhale, let that tension melt. Feel gravity as an ally rather than a burden. Gravity itself is surrender, the Earth's steady invitation to rest in what supports you. Then observe your thoughts like clouds drifting through a high sky. You don't chase them. You don't analyze them. You let them move. Eventually, they thin, and beneath them, clarity returns. That clarity isn't something you achieve. It's what remains when resistance dissolves. Surrender doesn't mean you stop desiring. It means you stop demanding. You hold your intention lightly, like a seed rather than a command. Seeds don't force growth. They trust the soil. Your consciousness is that soil. When you water it with trust, what you seek unfolds naturally. There's a reason many spiritual traditions describe surrender as power, because power without control is coherence, the alignment of will with flow. When you surrender consciously, you step into partnership with the field instead of competition against it. And in that partnership, miracles appear ordinary. You begin noticing patterns, the right words at the right time, the exact insight you needed arriving mid-breath, a door opening where no logic could place one. That's coherence in action, reality organizing around relaxed certainty. Feel that now the subtle equilibrium forming between effort and ease. The current that once dragged you begins to carry you. This is the sweet spot where surrender and coherence merge, where the nervous system stops defending and starts transmitting. You become an instrument again, perfectly tuned. If the earlier restlessness was the question, this is the answer. Not to force, but to flow. Not to control, but to coordinate. Every act of surrender refines the signal you send into the quantum field, making your next leap inevitable, effortless, precise. And just as your inner order stabilizes, you'll sense another transformation stirring beneath the surface, the quiet disintegration of everything that can't remain coherent with who you're becoming. The dissolution of the old self has begun. You can feel it now, can't you? The soft unraveling beneath the calm, the faint echo of identities dissolving. The shedding of skins you once called me. That's not regression, it's release. When coherence stabilizes, what doesn't belong begins to fade, not out of punishment, but precision. The universe is exacting with its pruning. The version of you that once navigated through effort cannot cross into this new frequency. Its architecture was built for survival, not expansion, and survival has edges, sharp ones, forged in habit and history. But expansion has curves, fluid and open. To become that, your old structure must melt. This is the chemistry of evolution, dissolution as design. Picture the cocoon again, sealed and silent. To the human eye, it appears as stillness. But inside, every cell of the caterpillar liquefies. The creature literally dissolves into formlessness before reorganizing as flight. That formless stage is sacred chaos, the alchemy that births wings. You are in that same process, even if your senses can't yet interpret it. You might notice forgotten emotions resurfacing, memories replaying, relationships loosening their grip. Don't chase meaning too quickly. The mind wants stories, but the field deals in energy. What's leaving your life now doesn't require understanding, only gratitude. Each release is a space-making act, clearing bandwidth for higher coherence. And yes, it can feel like grief. The nervous system mourns what it once relied on, even when it knows better things await. The ache you feel is your biology letting go of the old charge, like static discharging before clear signal returns. If tears come, let them. They're evidence of energy in motion. Every dissolution carries an invisible intelligence. The same energy that dismantles also rebuilds. Nothing real can be lost, only transformed. As the old self dissolves, the light underneath begins to surface. That's why periods of collapse often precede profound clarity. The structure breaks so consciousness can breathe again. Science mirrors this principle. In quantum mechanics, particles don't transform gradually, they collapse from one state to another when observed. The old waveform disappears, replaced by a new expression. Identity works the same way. The moment you observe your patterns without judgment, the wave collapses. A new self begins to take form. Observation is rebirth, but don't rush to define who you're becoming. Definition is limitation. Allow the next expression of you to reveal itself organically, the way dawn unveils the landscape without needing to name it. For now, your work is simple. Stay present in the dissolve. You'll find that as layers fall away, silence becomes louder. At first, it feels empty. Then it becomes full, pregnant with direction, intuition, and knowing. That's your soul's architecture assembling in real time. Each breath you take in awareness strengthens its foundation. The paradox of transformation is this: the more you let go, the more whole you become. Wholeness isn't accumulation, it's integration. The fragments you once scattered across timelines, memories, and fears are returning home to coherence. You're not losing yourself. You're retrieving your essence. Notice how your body reacts differently now. The same challenges that once triggered panic barely ripple your calm. The same doubts that used to derail you dissolve before they can take root. That's the nervous system adapting to your new vibration. Stability born from surrender, strength born from softness. And somewhere deep within, a subtle realization dawns: you no longer need to prove your worth. You've moved from proving to becoming. The old self needed validation. The emerging self radiates presence. Validation becomes obsolete when existence itself is the proof. As you breathe through this phase, remember, every dissolution is sacred choreography. The cocoon doesn't mourn the caterpillar, it fulfills its promise. The structures collapsing around you aren't endings. They're invitations to embody truth without distortion. So let them fall. Let what no longer resonates return to silence. You don't have to rebuild the old world. You're creating a new one from within. And as the dust settles, you'll sense it, a fresh current forming beneath your awareness, carrying the first harmonics of your reorganized being. The field is aligning again, preparing for the next revelation. Resistance, the final teacher, waiting at the gate of mastery. That gate feels close now, the threshold where surrender meets the test of embodiment, because every dissolution invites resistance. It's the body's instinct to tighten when the soul expands. As the old scaffolding collapses, a reflex arises: the urge to hold, to stabilize, to protect what is vanishing. But resistance isn't betrayal. It's simply your system trying to understand what safety looks like in a new world. Think of resistance as the echo of your previous architecture. It's memory in motion. When you feel yourself pulling back, procrastinating, doubting, or replaying fears that no longer fit, that's not regression, it's recalibration. Your nervous system is asking, are we really safe in this new vibration? Every evolutionary leap begins with that question. The human brain loves familiarity. It equates repetition with survival. When your consciousness starts vibrating at higher coherence, your subconscious scrambles to anchor to something known. That's why resistance often shows up at the exact moment you're closest to breakthrough. The ego translates expansion as danger. But the truth is, gentler resistance means you're moving fast enough to stretch your comfort zone's fabric. So instead of fighting resistance, study it. Observe it like a scientist watching a rare phenomenon unfold. When you name it, you separate from it. Awareness collapses its charge. It stops being the storm and becomes the weather report. Here's the key: what you resist isn't the new, it's the loss of the old illusion of control. The parts of you trained to manage outcomes can't yet comprehend that coherence doesn't need management. It only needs alignment. The mind thinks, if I release control, I'll fall apart. But watch what actually happens. When you let go, you fall upward into order, not chaos. Imagine your inner world as a set of orbiting planets. When your frequency rises, gravity shifts, old orbits destabilize, creating turbulence. That turbulence isn't punishment, it's physics. The system is reorganizing around a new center of mass, your expanded awareness. Resistance is the gravitational wobble before equilibrium. This is where the practice of observation becomes sacred science. Each time you notice resistance without judgment, you recode your reality. The energy that once looped in defense now fuels expansion. Observation turns friction into propulsion. Presence transforms inertia into motion. Think of it like surfing. If you fight the wave, you tumble. If you attune to its rhythm, the same force that could crush you carries you forward. Resistance is that wave. It's not meant to drown you. It's meant to teach you balance in motion. So when the next contraction arrives, when the mind whispers, "Not yet, not ready, not worthy," pause. Breathe, don't argue, just listen. Then answer softly, "I hear you, and we're safe." That simple acknowledgement rewires the dialogue between your conscious and subconscious mind. Safety re-enters the field. Coherence restores. Many mistake mastery for control. But true mastery is the ability to remain open in the presence of resistance, to meet it with compassion instead of confrontation. Because what resists inside you isn't evil. It's ancient. It's the child, the protector, the survivalist, all of them built to defend your earlier self. Thank them, then lead them forward, and something miraculous happens as you bless your resistance. It dissolves into light. The same energy that tried to hold you back becomes the momentum that propels you forward. Your field reorganizes with each act of conscious observation. You begin moving not by will, but by resonance. This is how coherence becomes embodied not as concept, but as biology. Your cells record safety and expansion. Your nervous system learns to interpret uncertainty as curiosity rather than threat. That shift changes everything. It's the moment awareness graduates from theory to practice, from meditation to momentum. The universe doesn't reward struggle, it responds to stability. The calmer your presence amid resistance, the faster the external world synchronizes. You're teaching reality what peace looks like under pressure, so don't fear resistance, thank it. It's proof that your evolution is active, that your energy is reorganizing into coherence. Every tremor means the foundation is settling into strength. And beyond this gate, where resistance softens into flow, trust begins to take on a new form, no longer as belief, but as lived experience. You've felt it, the quiet shift after resistance dissolves. That sudden clarity that feels like air after a storm. The field reorganizes itself, and you realize something profound: you were never steering the current, only learning to swim with it. Trust begins here not as theory, but as physics. When you stop resisting, the pattern of your life starts to reveal its symmetry. Events that once looked random connect like constellations. The delay that frustrated you last month now feels perfectly timed. The person who left created the space for someone aligned to arrive. You begin to see that nothing was wasted. What felt like detour was direction disguised as disorder. This is the hidden orchestration, the quantum intelligence weaving timelines beyond your perception. While the conscious mind worries about sequence, the deeper field arranges through resonance. It listens not to your words, but to your vibration, tuning every variable to the signal of your coherence. And coherence, as you've learned, only amplifies when trust replaces control. To trust the unseen is not to abandon logic, it's to acknowledge its limitation. Your conscious awareness is a flashlight. It illuminates what's in front of you. But the field is an ocean. The mind cannot map currents it cannot see. Yet those currents carry you all the same. You are not floating aimlessly. You are being navigated by alignment itself. Think of an orchestra tuning before a symphony. The noise seems chaotic, discordant, but hidden within that noise is preparation. Each instrument adjusts until harmony emerges. Life works that way too. The clashing notes, the confusion, the loss, the waiting are the prelude to coherence. The composer is invisible, yet the music keeps forming. So when nothing seems to be moving, remember, alignment doesn't always look like action. Sometimes the universe rearranges behind the curtain, moving pieces you can't yet see. That job you didn't get may have closed because your frequency was outpacing it. That conversation that ended abruptly may have freed energy for something more resonant. Trust is knowing that hidden choreography favors your evolution, even when it contradicts your plans. In practical terms, trust feels like this: you stop chasing evidence. You begin choosing peace before proof. You hold faith not as hope, but as familiarity, the way you trust the sunrise without needing to see the horizon. The quantum field responds to that certainty. It registers coherence and begins reorganizing matter to reflect it. This is why miracles appear sudden. They're not spontaneous, they're revealed. The alignment was building invisibly, waiting for your vibration to stabilize enough to perceive it. What we call divine timing is really the intersection of internal readiness and external orchestration. When you settle into trust, you align those coordinates. And if doubt returns, as it will, don't scold it. Doubt is simply trust waiting for evidence. Offer it patience. Show it the patterns. Recall the moments when things worked better than you could plan. Evidence of orchestration is everywhere once you start looking. Even the smallest coincidences, seeing the same number repeatedly, hearing the right words at the right moment, are proof of participation. Synchronicity isn't superstition. It's communication between your consciousness and the quantum intelligence surrounding it. Each sign is the field saying, "I hear you. Keep aligning. Let this awareness reframe your choices." You no longer need to control outcomes because you are now fluent in resonance. Every thought is a note, every emotion a tone, every act of trust a signal. The orchestra listens. Feel into that for a moment, the invisible symphony moving around you. It's not random, it's relational. The universe doesn't test you, it tunes you. Each delay, each uncertainty, each quiet space was a part of the composition leading you here to this awareness of partnership with creation itself. From here forward, you don't manifest by force, you harmonize by trust. You become the instrument and the musician, the note and the melody. And as you continue tuning to that inner frequency of peace, a deeper lesson will soon reveal itself: the mastery of peace in the unknown. You've trusted the unseen long enough to know it listens. But now comes the subtler challenge: not just trusting the orchestration, but remaining calm inside the unfinished symphony. Because even when you understand the intelligence behind events, uncertainty can still stir the heart. The unknown humbles the human mind. It stretches it past its comfort zones of clarity. Yet this is where your real power begins. Peace in the unknown isn't passive. It's active coherence. It's choosing to hold your frequency steady while the outer world rearranges. Think of it as standing in the eye of a storm. Around you, the wind tears through old structures, but within, there's a pocket of stillness untouched by chaos. That center is consciousness aware of itself. The more you anchor there, the more the storm begins to orbit you instead of overwhelm you. You can practice this peace in small ways, pausing before reaction, breathing before conclusion, observing before judgment. Each act is a micro-alignment, a recalibration that tells your nervous system, we're safe even here. Over time, these small calibrations create a magnetic stability. The universe senses that signal and begins matching it, sending experiences that reinforce your calm instead of test it. Peace is not the absence of movement, it's mastery of motion. The ocean doesn't resist waves, it becomes them. Likewise, your consciousness learns to move with life without losing itself. This is what mystics mean by surrender, and what science might call self-regulation harmony between the emotional, mental, and energetic layers of being. There's a rhythm to this. As you inhale awareness and exhale control, your electromagnetic field stabilizes. You literally broadcast coherence, an invisible signal of order in a noisy world. Others feel it without knowing why. The more consistent your calm, the more synchronized your reality becomes. You start noticing coincidences clustering around your serenity. That's not fantasy, that's feedback. Peace in the unknown doesn't deny emotion, it welcomes it. When fear rises, you don't banish it. You greet it like an old messenger returning with new instructions. Fear's purpose is to spotlight the edges of your unclaimed power. Every tremor of anxiety is a doorway to deeper trust. Walk through it. To hold peace is to become a lighthouse. Storms don't end because the lighthouse shines. They simply can't obscure its light. The world continues its cycles, yet within your field, stability reigns. That stability isn't learned, it's remembered. It's the original frequency of consciousness before it fragmented into stories of control. The unknown, then, is not your enemy, it's your studio. Within it, potential paints itself according to your vibration. The clearer your energy, the more beautiful the art that emerges. You stop trying to predict outcomes and start sculpting presence. Each breath becomes brushstroke. Each choice becomes color. In this space, miracles lose their mystery. They become normal responses to consistent alignment. When your inner climate no longer mirrors the chaos of the outer world, you begin directing weather instead of reacting to it. That's the quiet revolution, mastery through peace. And yet, peace is not the end. It's the prelude to creation. Once you can hold calm in uncertainty, you unlock the ability to shape reality consciously, because from that calm, focus sharpens. Intuition speaks louder and the field responds faster. You become conductor, not casualty. So let the unknown expand around you. Let it feel vast, even infinite. Don't rush to fill it with plans or answers. Listen to its silence instead. It contains instructions for your next evolution. The void isn't empty, it's alive with codes waiting for your attention. Peace doesn't mean you know what's next. It means you don't need to. You've seen how energy compresses, dissolves, and reorganizes. You've learned the choreography of surrender. Now you stand in the center of the mystery itself, not waiting for certainty, but embodying it. And from that embodiment, a new threshold begins to shimmer ahead, the crossing into your next reality, where peace and creation merge, and presence becomes power. The shimmer you feel ahead, that soft pulse at the edge of awareness, isn't imagination, it's invitation. The field is calling you across, asking you to embody what you've been sensing all along. You've learned to trust, to surrender, to stand in stillness, to breathe inside uncertainty. Now the current of creation begins to flow through you, not toward you. You are no longer the observer watching transformation. You are transformation itself. Crossing this threshold doesn't look like fireworks or revelation. It feels like recognition. You realize that the peace you cultivated has already rewritten the architecture of your reality. Conversations shift tone. Opportunities seem to self-arrange. Synchronicities cluster like constellations around your calm. The universe mirrors coherence with precision. The field responds faster now because it no longer needs to filter through resistance. You've become transparent to your own signal, Imagine standing in a vast river of light. Every molecule of water knows exactly where to go because flow is its only instinct. You are that river now, awareness moving as current. Choices that once demanded effort now emerge effortlessly. Decisions that once caused anxiety now unfold through knowing, not guessing. You don't chase clarity, you emanate it. In this new reality, creation isn't an act of willpower, it's resonance in motion. You think less in terms of manifesting and more in terms of matching. Every thought, emotion, and action becomes a tuning mechanism aligning your experience with your highest frequency. Life doesn't respond to your words, it synchronizes with your vibration. And since you've made peace your baseline, reality has no choice but to harmonize. This is why things start to happen faster. Timelines collapse not through force, but through coherence. Energy that once moved sluggishly through doubt now streams through clarity. You begin to experience time as fluid. Some days stretch, others contract because your consciousness has stepped beyond linear sequence. What used to feel like chance now feels like choreography. You are co-creating with precision now, yet paradoxically, it feels like ease. The paradox itself is proof of alignment. Struggle has no foothold where trust governs. Even when challenge arises, you meet it differently, not as obstacle, but as feedback. Reality becomes a mirror for refinement, not punishment. You learn through reflection rather than resistance. Your relationships evolve too. You attract coherence in others because your field now repels distortion. The conversations deepen, the connections sharpen. Even silence with another feels full, as if two frequencies are harmonizing beyond words. You start to see others not as separate entities, but as extensions of the same intelligence wearing different faces. And when you look back, you'll notice that what once felt like collapse was always calibration. The fatigue, the restlessness, the unknown, they weren't detours. They were the staircase you couldn't see until you climbed it. Every still moment, every sigh, every surrender was a rung leading here to awareness without strain. Here's the secret. Most miss the threshold doesn't appear when you've achieved perfection. It appears when you've accepted imperfection without losing coherence. The universe doesn't demand flawlessness, it responds to authenticity. The truest vibration is honesty when you allow your humanity and your divinity to share the same breath. So breathe now. Feel how different it is, steady, open, unforced. That's your signature frequency. You've crossed from seeking into being. You no longer raise your vibration. You are the vibration. Reality bends not to your effort, but to your presence. Look around. The landscape may seem familiar, but the texture has changed. Colors appear sharper. Sounds carry meaning. Time moves differently because perception has widened. You're no longer waiting for signs. You are the sign, the evidence of alignment incarnate. This is the new reality, not a destination, but a continuous unfolding. A life lived as dialogue between your consciousness and the cosmos. You've crossed the threshold, and in doing so, discovered the oldest truth disguised as the newest revelation. Creation begins the moment you stop chasing and start becoming. You stand here now, breath steady, awareness wide, feeling the still hum of your new coherence. The shimmer of the threshold fades, not because it's gone, but because you've stepped inside it. The miracle becomes ordinary, the extraordinary dissolving into the everyday rhythm of being. That's how transformation always concludes, not with thunder, but with integration. The universe doesn't shout when you arrive. It whispers, "Welcome back." You notice the subtle details, the way your heartbeat synchronizes with the quiet, the way ordinary light feels sacred, the way you no longer rush to make meaning because meaning breathes through you. This is the calm after emergence, the grace that follows ignition. The truth of your journey was never about reaching somewhere new. It was about remembering the intelligence guiding you the whole time. Each restlessness, each silence, each surrender was the field speaking in its native tongue, training you to listen, to trust, to align. And now, listening feels natural, like remembering a melody you once knew by heart. So let the world unfold. You don't need to predict, perform, or prove. Your presence is enough. The coherence you radiate now will ripple outward, touching lives you'll never meet, realigning spaces you'll never see. That's how energy works, quietly, precisely, through resonance. If ever you forget, return here to the breath, the silence, the simple awareness that everything changes, yet nothing real is ever lost. You are both the river and the reflection, both the traveler and the terrain. The evolution continues, but for now, you can rest in the knowing that you are exactly where the universe intended you to be. Let this peace seal into your field like morning light after a long night. Whisper softly, "I trust the intelligence of my evolution." Feel it echo through your cells. The story continues, but for this chapter, the circle closes complete, coherent, and quietly infinite.